From rock bottom to the bright lights, this is where redemption meets hustle. CEOs, entrepreneurs, creators, and comeback stories. This is real inspiration. Welcome to the GITT Up Podcast with your host, Adam Larkin. It's not just a show, it's a movement. Now let's get it.
Today's guest is Jessie Christine Smith, a dynamic leader and mentor known for her success as a top-performing sales professional in the aesthetics industry. She was crowned Miss North Carolina for America 2019 and has since built a powerful career as an entrepreneur. Mindful life coach and model mentor, Jessie is passionate about empowering high-performing individuals to build confidence, visualize success, and step fully into their potential, both personally and professionally. Jessie, welcome to the GITT Up Podcast.
Thank you, Adam. Great to be here.
Glad to have you. So for people meeting you for the first time, who is Jessie Christine Smith today, not just the titles?
I'm a small town girl, very humble in beginnings. I'm from North Carolina, go figure, Miss North Carolina. Born and raised into a single wide trailer with big dreams. At the age of 6, my parents divorced, and that kind of changed the trajectory of my life. Very much a country girl in a lot of ways. I grew up on 20 acres of family land. So I love the outdoors. I love doing big things and have always had a very competitive spirit to me. From a young age, I kind of followed my dad, and he's a racer. And so did some go-kart racing on the dirt track at 10 with all the boys.
Nice.
Kind of refined myself when I was able to get a beautiful scholarship to a dance studio in Greenville, North Carolina, at the age of 12. So then I went from complete tomboy to the prissiest, girliest, I want to be a professional ballerina. From there, it kind of opened a lot of doors. Having a talent is what actually led me into the pageant world, and had some really great successes in that. I'm a big sister, so I've got one sibling. He's 3 years younger than me. My brother's Austin. I love my family. I grew up with built-in best friends because, again, living on that family land, my cousins lived next to me. I never, missed out on anything. We were always together, and we got great memories.
I love North Carolina. So I've been to Asheville, love Asheville around Christmas time, like Charlotte, like Raleigh a lot, and people wouldn't know it. Texas is known for barbecue, but North Carolina's got some fire barbecue, let me tell you. Fantastic barbececue.
Oh, yeah, it's very different style. We got a lot more vinegar in our sauce.
Yeah, which is what I like, and not all the fatty mayo that I don't need. Yeah.
Good.
So you grew up in North Carolina. What was little kid Jessie like growing up? Confident already, or something that you had to build on?
I was pretty confident. Like I said, I was very competitive from a young age. Once I actually got into dance classes, that's when I really kind of blossomed in my personality. I wanted to go first at everything. I wanted to be the best at everything. I wanted to get the best roles in all the parts. And that was a very special time in my life because that gave me a lot of structure and discipline that I think as an adult really helped me refine what I'm doing now.
Especially when you have entrepreneurial spirit like we do and go, I want it now. It's good to hone that, keep that, but hone the discipline and the structure to actually be able to handle it when it comes at you. I know myself as a multifaceted entrepreneur, I'm doing so many different things right now. And it's actually easier doing more things than 2 years ago. It was 10 times harder for me to do about half the amount I'm doing now. I just got a lot better with time management.
Yep. Yeah, that discipline really helped me say, okay, this is a yes for me. I can give 100% to this, or actually turn down opportunities, because if I could not give 100% to something, or if it was going to kind of pull away from what I was currently doing or the things that I currently do that I'm really passionate about, if I was going to get less than 100% of those things, the discipline in me says, not now, this is not the right time, or it's not the right opportunity. Thank you, but I'll pass. And so having that discipline to say yes to things and no to things is really important as an adult for me.
Yeah. And I've had to learn too to actually drop things like you're saying. I had too many irons and too many fires. Now I'm trying to do 3 things very well instead of do 6 or 7 things half-assed.
Yeah, I can juggle. Right. I can juggle lots of things, but there is a breaking point for me. And I think everybody does have their breaking point once you find out what it is. kind of take a step back and learn from that.
Right. So you've competed at high school level or high level and worked in high pressure sales. Which environment tested you more mentally?
Sales. Absolutely. It is a long-term game. You never know what the client's going to do, whether you have the best proposals in front of them, whether they pick you or they pick another product or another sales rep because they like them more. Sales is really, really great for me because, again, very competitive personality. I like to see my name rise to the top. I'm actually number 5 in our company right now, so that's nice. Fantastic. Yeah, about 155 reps. I'm like number 5. I'm like, that's where I'm supposed to be.
Killing it.
I've never needed to be number 1, but I always need to be like one of the best at everything that I do. So sales has grown me in a lot of ways just because you, again, don't know what the client is going to do. Everyone says ABC, always be closing. That's not what I lean in towards. I've always kind of had the mentality of never assume. I never assume I know what they're going to do or if they're going to choose me. What I can do is control my controllables and put in front of them the best proposals or the best opportunities for my company and for myself, for them to solve their problems, and pray to God that they actually choose me. But if they don't, I did everything in my power. And when I go to sleep at night, I put my head on my pillow, there's nothing that I would change. That is still winning. Yes. So it's not about closing. It's about really being prepared, listening, being a good problem solver, and then just kind of understanding how businesses are growing or changing. That's a huge one. I think as I get older, I do more listening and less talking, which really serves me in my successes as well, just because it's not about me. Being in sales is really not about me. I have my goal. That's my problem to solve. But all of my clients' problems are the ones that I'm actually actively working to solve for them.
Right. And once we learn to step into leadership roles, the more we empower those around us and the less we seek attention and validation, which trust me, I've done, plenty of times. But once I actually learned, empower those around you, empower those that you need, give other people a platform, help other people where you were once at, get to where you're at, all sorts of doors and opportunities opened up. And like you said, it's knowing that, just being able to sleep at night. I did everything I could today to be a good person, get outside of myself, help some other people, and doors and opportunities just never seemed to open up. Yeah. I started in sales too, doing a ton of different stuff, but I remember it reminded me what you were just talking about. When I was 19, I worked at this place called First Guarantee Mortgage. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Boiler Room, but it reminded me of Boiler Room with mortgages. It was a corrupt stock firm pumping stocks that didn't exist for very high amounts, kind of like a Jordan Belfort Wolf of Wall Street deal.
That one makes sense.
But for mortgages, so they're doing this, and I don't know if they were doing anything illegal, but they were there's always a sale. You're either selling them what we want you to sell them, or they're selling you on a reason that they're not going to buy it from you, but there's a sale every time. And I'm like, no, that's not real.
No, not always. Some cases, absolutely. Right. Some clients are like that, yes, but not always.
Right. Well, and it's if you have a good product and you stand behind what you're selling, you're doing everything with integrity, it'll sell itself, right? It's you don't need to pump something that isn't what it is.
Well, I need to educate people so that they understand what it truly is. Because I think in my industry, there's a lot of options, and I think all of the options work. There can be some misinformation around some of those options just because of fear of anatomy, fear of injecting. And so I really like to take the educational approach. You don't have to pick my product, but you're going to know it's one, safe, and two, the value that I hold for it. Because if you have the same integrity and value around it that I do, then that product will then sell itself. It'll become an easier product for you to have conversations with your clients about. And it's not like a sell. It truly is a consultation for a prescription.
Right. So what are some of the products you're talking about? I do a ton we're talking about for wellness and just, enhancing physical, mental, spiritual well-being. And, there's different hormone therapies and stuff. So what are you talking about?
So I have 3 injectable products. So I work in the pharmaceutical aesthetics industry. I work with med spas, dermatology offices, and plastic surgeons offices. I have a neurotoxin. So everyone knows what Botox is.
Right.
I have Xeomin. Xeomin is the cleanest toxin on the market, so we actually do a double filtered process to remove unnecessary proteins in the vial. So it can be a product that you don't build a resistance to over time. My second product is a biostimulator and a filler. So it's called Radiesse. It's a calcium hydroxyl applique, and really fantastic product for like laxity or, skin sagging, really trying to work back the aging process, giving better tissue quality, not just filling, but really trying to take a better approach to having, aging in general. And then I do have a hyaluronic acid, which is called Bellaterra, which is a super, super soft, really pretty product that you can lay in the under eyes, in the nasolabial folds, like certain areas. It's got to be the right fit for the client based on their needs and their outcomes. So, those three products I get to talk about all day long, and I feel like I'm the expert in the room. Doing this for just over 2 years now, I've learned so much, and there's still so much left to go. I feel like every time our company kind of gets together, every 6 months, we learn new things or we brush up on our techniques. And I'm like, pretty sure we discussed that before, but it clicked this time. So just continuing to want to educate myself so that I can be that educator for all those injectors that maybe don't know about my product or curious about it, interested in it. I believe I got the best stuff on the market, so it's what's in my face.
Boom. So for all my ladies out there, at the end of this episode, we are going to give you multiple ways to get a hold of Jessie, and she's got some fantastic products for you.
Cool.
So winning Miss North Carolina for America 2019, that's pretty awesome. Yeah. What's something people don't see behind the crown? And tell us all about that journey, because I'm interested.
So I was in pageants. I did, Miss USA organization. I did the Miss America organization. I did a state level. It's called Princess of North Carolina. That's actually the ring that I wear every day. That was my first state title ring.
That's a nice ring.
Thank you. So I did all of those organizations, and it kind of built me up to when in 2013, I was first runner up to actually Miss North Carolina to go to Miss America. And it kind of devastated me because I was like, this is my year. I will win. And I didn't win. So I took like a 6-year break, focused on graduating college, moved to Raleigh, North Carolina.
Nice.
Really started pursuing my career in sales, and something inside me just kind of clicked back on one day. And I don't do anything unless my heart's in it. And so my heart came back to wanting to compete, wanting to be on stage, wanting to have a voice and be an influence. So when I was looking for my options, I kind of got approached to be the first.
Nice.
Which was awesome, right? Like, who gets to be the founding queen in an organization that's rooted behind Mrs. America and Mrs. World? But this organization was bringing a new lane for women who are 18 years and above and just unmarried. But you could be divorced, you could have children, you could be widowed. So it was a completely different door to walk into. At the time, I was like just a single 28-year-old, woman looking for an opportunity to have a voice again. But competing alongside some really incredible women in North Carolina, winning that title and being the first was everything that I wanted it to be in 2013 when I didn't win. It opened a lot of doors. But I also know there's power in the crown, so it's going to open doors, but you also have to work it.
Right.
You have to put yourself out there. You have to do your outreach. If it's something that you want, you got to go get it. And with that, I was able to walk in runway shows, do photo shoots, have a small TV little thing that kind of happened that didn't actually end up happening, which everything happens for a reason. But the experience taught me, say yes to the things that make sense. And if it's meant to be, it will. It was a wonderful opportunity. I actually ended up going to Vegas for the first time ever.
Love Vegas.
Competed with 51 amazing women from all over the country and placed second runner-up, which was really, really cool. At the end of that, everyone's like, well, how do you feel? How do you feel? I was like, I feel amazing. Because there's nothing that I would change about my experience. I know that I put my heart out there. I was authentic in who I was. My message and what I wanted to bring was heard through 2 top questions. So, I actually got to use my voice in front of over 100,000 people that were watching that night, which was really kind of scary, exciting, really cool. But I knew now, looking back at it, even that night, I knew it wasn't meant for me. Did I still keep going? Absolutely. Did I want to win? Absolutely. I'm there because I want to win. But being second runner-up was awesome because I know that the girl that did win, it was meant for her. So that following that just continued to give me other opportunities to do more runway and not having the pressure of being the first ever Miss for America, but I could still come back to North Carolina and really say, I did this. Look at what I'm building here. It also helped me earn more sponsors for the girls that were going to follow in my footsteps. And I think that ability to build something was why that was the right fit for me.
Yeah, not let alone it's an awesome accomplishment personally, but when you're actually helping the people coming up behind you, like we're talking about, that's where it's at, because you're building something, you're building a foundation for something bigger that's going to continue.
Yep, and I want to know every single one of the girls that is crowned behind me. Like, I will be your biggest cheerleader because I was the first one. I know everything you're going to go through, from working with your directors, through the state travel that you're going to do, through the experience at the Westgate Hotel in Las Vegas. Like, I really had to figure it out with no blueprint, no guide. There was never a Miss for America before. So I always want any woman that wears that sash across their heart to know, I'm going to be there. If you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Please use me as a resource. I'm here because the legacy is more than just the year that you serve. It can continue, indefinitely if that's how you want it to be. And it's a sisterhood too. Even when I moved to Kentucky, the first person that I called was the Miss Kentucky for America Queen. And I was like, hey, guess what? I'm coming to Kentucky. I'm leaving Texas and I'm coming here. I know nobody. You're the only person I know. Aren't you in real estate? I need to find a house. And she was there for me. So it's a true sisterhood. And I've connected with South Dakota, the Vegas Queen, the Florida Queen. I've seen all of, I wouldn't say all of the girls, but a good majority of the girls. We still are very much in contact with each other. And I've watched them blossom and become wives and mothers and models doing North Carolina runway, but also New York Fashion Week and Miami Fashion Week. And so it's a sisterhood.
I've been to Vegas a ton of times since I was 16, but the funny thing is, you want to talk about aesthetics. What I found that I loved as a man that I never knew I would was at the Paris Hotel. So when we were staying at the Paris, the restaurant at the top, the French restaurant's fantastic. But the coolest part about it was I didn't know, for $50, you could go down to this day spa, right? Okay. So this thing, right when I started working out hard, I'm talking about the nicest sauna, steam room, cold plunge, jacuzzi, all four of them right there with cool connecting, Greek looking steps. And it was just amazing aesthetically, but just hitting all four of those, 5 different times over a 3-hour period. I worked out so hard the night before. I thought I was going to be sore for a week. And now I know why professional athletes recover the way they do, because they have that access all the time. And I'm like, if I probably would have had a cryo chamber, I would have had all 5 of them.
I've done that once.
Have you?
It's not for me.
I think didn't that Optimize You supposedly in Lexington have that? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I need to try that because I see Dana White, Joe Rogan, all them, Gary Brecka raving about it.
I've got friends that believe in the cold plunge and the sauna, and then what is it called again? The room the
steam room.
Steam room.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, sweating out the toxins in the steam room, and then going in the sauna and then doing the same thing but in a dry heat, and then going in the jacuzzi and the cold plunge. It's by doing all 4 of those, you shock your body so many times, you just sleep like a champion and recover.
Well, I guess I need to do it too then.
Well, it's all about time limits too, right? So it's learning the time. So it's cold plunge, 3 to 6 minutes. I recommend closer to 3 because 6 can be, daunting for some people. Mm-hmm. And have it at 50 degrees. You don't need to be Wim Hof and go in a river in Alaska like I did and actually jump into it being 30-something degrees and regret it immediately. You can go into a 55-degree tub.
And it'll shock your body enough.
And it'll shock your body enough for 3 minutes that you're good. And then afterwards, go into that sauna or jacuzzi because it warms you up and then you get the benefits of that as well. So I definitely recommend cold plunge, then sauna or jacuzzi.
I think it's going to move the blood. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So what moment in your life forced you to level up mentally or emotionally?
Oh.
I know everybody in sales or entrepreneur has that.
Well, I was living in Texas, and I had this really life-altering kind of situation, and I had a choice to make of is this the path that I want to continue on, or do I want to walk away? and change everything and start over again. And I think that moment when I realized, okay, this starting over thing is going to be worth it for me, that also helped me understand, like, I was in a sales career with technology as like the main resume. So I worked for a global education company. I worked in team augmentation. I did a short stint with IT staffing. That was not for me.
Right.
And then I ended up in like cyber risk resiliency. So my resume just kept giving me sales opportunities in the technology field. I don't know if you know that much about it, but at the time I was in a 2% men or a 2% women, industry. So
Right.
I was also selling from a fear perspective.
Tech is super male dominated.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, this is not for me. I'm so burnt out. I don't love this. There's no passion behind me. I go to work and it just doesn't set, anything on fire for me. Like, there's no heart in this. So I actually left a job without having another job because no matter what, like, I knew I didn't want to be doing that and I was wasting my time. So when I found an opportunity to be in like regenerative medicine, that was what led me to finding regenerative aesthetics and then kind of the career path that I'm on now, and taking the leap of faith to leave Texas and find like a whole new start, a whole new beginning here in Kentucky. And that took a lot of grit and a lot of patience and a lot of prayers.
Oh, yeah. That's a big move.
Mm-hmm. To do it by myself, too.
Oh, nice.
Completely alone.
Okay. Yeah, I came out to Kentucky from New York when I first got sober. Actually, it still took me a while when I got out here because I was still doing the old same behaviors and patterns and all that stuff. So it's like,
you got to break those.
I can go anywhere, but I'm still there, right?
Yeah.
So until I change myself, it doesn't matter where I'm at.
Correct.
But it also gave me a fresh start, a fresh opportunity, and wanting to do something different. So once I did that, like you're saying, all sorts of doors and opportunities opened up, and I love Kentucky. I would have never ever thought in my life, I'm from New York. I always thought Kentucky was just some like little state in the middle of nowhere, and met some of the most genuine, honest, God-fearing, family, integrity, Southern charm, just good people, just good all-around people. Because I travel all the time, and Kentucky's got a place in my heart. Obviously, I live here now, and this is where I got all these great opportunities going on. So, gotta love Lexington, gotta love Lex Studios and Coop and Tim. Gotta plug Lex Studios. Also, if you guys have any film projects, Lexington and Kentucky has like a 34% tax incentive for coming to us. So if you need something to film, if you want something going on with acting, come to Lex Studios, man.
Absolutely.
So when confidence dips, because it happens to everyone, even Miss America, right? Mm-hmm. What's your personal reset?
When confidence dips. Okay, so I think a lot of times people want to lean into anxiety. And I think that's where confidence dips, anxiety creeps in. You get in between your own ears and you allow yourself to kind of talk down to yourself or find out, what if it doesn't work? What if they don't buy for me? What if I lose? That's when confidence dips, is when you allow yourself to get in your own way. And so kind of going back to this formula that I learned from a performance coach, it's called A times B equals life. And so A are the things that you can control. So I have to come back to, what am I controlling? What is my effort? What is my energy? What is my preparation? Do I have fuel in the car? Do I have all the products that I need? Like, what is my part in this? And then the B factors are the things that you cannot control, like the weather, the client's decisions, whether they pick you or not, whether you win or you don't. Like, that's not in my control. So when confidence dips, you're leaning more into the what if negative factors, the things that you cannot control. A times B equals life. The things you control plus the things you can't control equals the life that you live. So if I just focus on A, I focus on me, my preparation, my time, my energy, where am I using myself, like my resources. When I focus on that, confidence goes right back up, because that's all about, what do I bring to the table, not the things I can't control.
Right. And it's a perspective and a mindset, right? So like you're saying, if we do something that we're passionate about and sets our heart on fire and is what we love to do, it's a lot easier to stay in a positive mental state at most times. And also having the tools just to come back. Like the other day, I was just like, felt like depressed and stuff. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, life's fantastic. Like, oh yeah, it's you. Shift your perspective, realize everything's great. And it was just like the worst place I can be is in my head.
Get out of your head. Get out of your own way. Absolutely. Although the weather, like my vitamin D is low right now. So
Yes.
like I have to remember, okay, that's a big part of it. What do I need to be taking, or should I take a vacation in February?
Exactly. So I was just talking to Jen about this. I'm like, it's because our vitamin D is low. I'm taking a vitamin D3 and K2 combo and coconut oil, so it actually absorbs from like good fat.
Yep.
So that's helping. But anytime it's sunny, like the other day, like we were talking about, it's 45 degrees. I'm shorts, t-shirt, it's sunny out. I'm like, this is fantastic.
And like nothing stops me. I got the world at my hand. Like, let's go do things. The moment that it's cloudy for 2 days, everything starts dipping, and like your mood can kind of go down, and the environment can affect you. But if you come back to your mindset, like I can control the fact that I feel like down today. I can change my perspective. I can shift my mindset. Well, then things can start looking up, even though it's still going to be cloudy.
And as much as I want to fix, manage, and control everybody else and every situation around me, like you're saying, the only thing I can really control is how I react to what they're doing. Mm-hmm. I can control my reactions. I can't control what you do.
Right.
Even if I want to, I can't.
Right. If I cut you off driving, I'm going to cut you off no matter what. But if you cuss at me in the car and you get yourself all worked up and your adrenaline's going, like you're changing your emotion based on what someone else is doing to you. So just remember, stay in control of your emotions and your reactions, and don't get in your own way.
Exactly. You work with high performers. We both do. What's the number one lie they tell themselves?
Oh, that's their problem, not mine.
Or you when you're performing at a high level?
If I don't lie to myself. Okay, so I can't lie. Literally, it will eat me alive if I try to lie. It's just not in me to do that. So I don't really know how to relate to that question. I'm so sorry.
No, that's actually fantastic. That shows you probably got good faith, and you probably also, are reliant on God instead of yourself. Right. And the whole point that people go through, at least that I see recover and stay recovered, is because they have the spiritual awakening. And it's like, the 12 steps leading to that. But the 12th step, having had a spiritual awakening, I will carry this message and also practice these principles in all my affairs. So it's like the people that don't get it don't have the spiritual awakening. Yeah,
when you don't know God, it can lead you in a lot of different directions, but God's a clear direction. And that's kind of, I do a lot of my like self-work or like breath work even. Like when I'm working towards like something, it's mostly focused in faith. Because your future is what you focus on. So if I put God first, everything that will follow that hopefully has a positive and, outcome to it. Even if it doesn't, I still probably got there based on the fact that I believed in myself, and I believed God would get me there. Everything that has happened in my life has happened for a reason. And if it's for me, I've always asked God to show me the path, make it very, very clear. So it's undeniable that this is what I'm supposed to be doing for you, to serve you.
And that leads me perfectly into the next topic that we were talking about. Well, actually, first I want to go back. So they were also looking at me the other day when it was sunny out like a hippie, because like you're saying, I'm not, let alone after my run, now I go in my front yard, I'm barefoot, I'm grounding, I'm doing my breath work, and in the zone, man. I'm telling you, people don't realize I don't need one of those, PMF mats or whatever. I don't even like those. I like actually grounding.
Yeah, just take your shoes off.
You can feel like the negative, you can just feel like almost a discharge after like 10 or 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah. I love to go in my backyard and like have coffee in the morning and ground, whether there's snow on the ground or it's starting at 75 degrees. Like I would prefer to just put bare feet into dirt and grass and kind of feel myself become balanced and like charged positively, but also just very calm. It's a very calming time for me.
And that's the best time for the circadian rhythm early in the morning, because you're getting that very early sunlight before it's like too much. And also people don't realize, I didn't know till recently, do you know by doing that, by actually getting the sunlight, that gives you the melatonin to sleep properly at night. So I would have never known that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so actually by getting the sunlight that people avoid that don't sleep well, it's because they're not getting the melatonin from the sunlight to sleep well.
I also think, would it have an effect on, okay, if you see the sun come up, like it's day, and like when the sun is gone, like you're supposed to go to sleep, like
right?
Doesn't
and
it
not
help,
have lights on at midnight?
Yeah,
like go with it. Turn all your lights on when the sun comes up. Turn all your lights off when it goes down. That helps tremendously.
Well, right now when the sun goes down like 5:30,
true,
I'm ready to go to bed at 6:30. So we got to hurry up and get back to summer.
You get on that Mark Wahlberg schedule where you're going to bed at like 7, getting up at 2 and just crushing it. See, I can't do that.
I'm not a morning person like that. I've gotten better in like my 30s. I guess you could say I've gotten better at being a morning person, but it is not my time of day. I'm a night owl. I would prefer to like stay up until 10 or 11. Like my best work is probably from like 8 to 11 at night, honestly. That's my most creative time. Also, there's no work stress, no work pressure. It's truly just what am I going to achieve or what else is left in my day for me to tie up and like get accomplished so that I can feel good for the next day.
That's what I did last night. I went to the gym at 8, came home about 9:15, did our interview questions, and then started editing reels from previous ones and from future ones to promote the podcast. So I'm like, yeah, 8 to 11, I'm crushing it.
You're a night owl too, yeah.
Well, and then I do a hard stop though, right? Because I am old now. So I got to the point to where at 11, no matter what I'm doing, I kill everything and I go up and go to sleep.
I try to do that. Like I really want 11 to be the latest I'm up during the week. If I go to bed at 9:30 because I know the next day I got to be up on the road early, like I have the flexibility to set my day. But if I can't go to sleep at 9:30, there's nothing that's going to like, I cannot make myself go to sleep. I truly have to figure out how to wind down then.
Right. Yeah, I find like getting off TV and screens and all the blue light and stuff helps. But even that's hard. It's like, to do that for like an hour and a half before going to sleep is hard.
Yeah, because what do you want to do?
Right.
Like check messages.
I mean, the reading will put you to sleep. But
that too.
I need to start doing that more. I actually have like a regimented like hour reading before sleep. Like that'd probably be the best.
It would expand your mind too.
Right. I started when I'm in the zone trying to read like a book a month. I need to get back into it. I kind of got out of it because I got a bunch of projects going on. But I think it's just like 10 pages a day or something. You're guaranteed reading a book a month. So it's like, there's that hour right there. If I just read 10 pages that night before going to sleep, I'm reading at least 12 books a year.
Reading a book would put me to sleep.
and that would help.
It would.
So what we were talking about too, visualization is a big part of your work and a big part of what I do too. What's something you visualized that actually came true?
Well, I mean, winning Miss North Carolina was a true vision. I could see myself, like, I'd never been to Vegas, never been to this actual auditorium in Vegas. And so I would visualize the lights because I'm like, no matter what, it's going to be bright. So I would visualize, what do the lights look like? Where do they, fit? How do I want to hold my head? How do I want to hold my posture? How do I want to see myself get crowned? And I never stopped reaching for that opportunity. So I visualized winning and being being the last one, and it got me all the way to second runner-up. So that's one. I think I'm currently working on trying to earn a President's Club trip with my company. So
nice.
Visualizing, being one of the best, aka top 5 right now. So it's working out, but I still have a whole nother 6 months to go before we actually solidify who actually gets picked or selects or earns that. So, yeah. I wanted to be a professional ballerina. I will tell you that's one of those that did not work out. And that's probably more because my body physically could not do it. I was a dance performance major in college, and when that didn't work, went to the School of Business, ended up failing out of business school, dropped out of college, took about a week, and I was like, I don't want to do life this way. So then I re-enrolled, became a communications major. I'm like, I have to graduate. No matter what, I visualized myself turning my tassel. And it came true. So nice. Having the grit to not give up on things and working through even some of the lowest moments of my life, just knowing that I was meant to graduate, be the first person in my family to graduate from college and go in general, right, was a huge thing, and sticking it through. Yeah.
Yeah, well, like you're saying too, I find that the more intricately I visualize, like you're saying, that actual getting the crown, walking on stage, the more I put into that visualization, the easier it becomes, if that makes any sense. Almost like if I slack on my visualization, I'm almost slacking on the plan to get there, versus if I have that childlike faith and I'm like, I can be an astronaut, I can go to space, I can be why not? Things aren't too late. Like you're saying, I remember talking to my family members about having a master's degree when I was a kid. And then, when I got an addiction and things went a different way, I'm like, all right, well, there went that. But I visualized it as a kid. I start my MBA. I already got my BA in May, and I start my MBA in 6 days.
Nice.
So it's like you're saying, that was one of my visualizations that I almost forgot about, but nothing's ever too late. Just, refocus and put the work in.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work out, that's okay. Just keep trying, keep believing in yourself. It'll never work out the way you probably visualize it, or it can, even to the exact details if you're that good. But if you pray very specifically or you visualize in detail, that's going to help you with anything that's kind of thrown your way that you're not expecting. Because you're like, okay, well, I can handle this. That's not a part of my plan. That's not how I visualize it. But guess what? I'm going to keep working towards it, or kind of go around this little curve ball that God has thrown me, and it's not going to slow me down.
Yeah, I can sit there with all the foxhole prayers in the world, but if I don't put the action into making them come true, God will move a mountain, but he's not going to move it if you can do it yourself, right? Mm-hmm. There's also a shovel.
You got to do it.
And bulldozers and, things to help you with that.
You got to put in the work. You got to do it yourself, yeah.
So fun one. What's your hype song when you flip the switch?
I got a few. Oh my God, I got a few. So I love Champion by Carrie Underwood. That's got Ludacris in there. So like that one was my visualization song when I was prepping for Miss for America. Literally, nice. That was my gym song. That's how I started every single run or every single treadmill thing that I was doing. That was that. Grills by Nelly is literally my life song. I don't know. I like to smile. I like to think about being happy and show me your grill, show me your smile. So that's one. But I'm a country girl, so I love all kinds of country music, all kinds of rock music. I actually have such a deep connection with music in itself. It's kind of played different parts in my life where.
Me too.
Very much a classical ballerina to piano, soft piano, live piano music to country music to, I love country concerts. I'll spend no expense or save no expense to go to a country concert, because then it is a true experience that you get to have music move you, and it really creates a very symbolic memory. Yeah, I got lots of music and songs and stuff that I like.
Nice. Yeah, me too. And I noticed recently, I don't know, just maybe getting back into that or trying to fill that vitamin D3 void. I'm just doing a lot of Rocky soundtracks though.
Okay, yeah. I have the tiger. Here we go.
Yeah. Almost every one of them, man. Just go through Rocky 3 and 4 soundtrack, and almost every one of them is pretty motivational.
It'll hype even the lowest person. You'll get up off the couch and do something.
Exactly.
Even if it's just vacuum the house.
Right. Just get some chores done. Do something. Because I notice once I start doing one thing, it motivates me to do another and to another, and it's a compound effect.
Yeah, a lot of people forget, the hardest part is just starting. Take the first step. Make the first move. Put in the first phone call. Every phone call after that gets easier. You just have to start.
75% of the time, I don't want to go to the gym. 0% of the time do I go and regret going. Once, the dope, once you start flowing, get some reps in and stuff, I'm all right.
The endorphins.
Exactly. Some natural dopamine and serotonin.
There you go.
Entrepreneurship isn't glamorous all the time. What part surprised you the most about it?
Taxes.
That's real.
And I despise
Uncle Sammy, she said.
I despise doing taxes. Yeah, that's, they don't prepare you the way that I think that they should. Or maybe I just didn't go down that track for taxes to just be a whiz at it. But also having the level of organization sometimes, and just so many different platforms that you can use, that can be very overwhelming. So if you don't have a clear set direction for what you want to achieve and how you're going to get there, you can get really bogged down and overwhelmed by all the options, the routes, the things, all of that stuff. But yeah, Uncle Sam, that guy.
Well, and it's school's so indoctrinated now, man, so different than when we went to school. And it's to the point dude, teach me things that I need to know that I've learned on my own, not in school. Teach me about travel, teach me culture, teach me credit cards, teach me IRA Roths, teach me gold, silver, investments, real estate. Teach me things that are actually going to help me in life, not a bunch of stuff that I can, make a certain amount of money to work for someone else that's an entrepreneur and help their dreams come true.
Yeah, very true. And I feel a lot of the times it's how good at you are memorizing answers. And that's only going to get you as far as once that test is over. Do you retain that information? Does it really help you in life?
Do you ever need it again?
Yeah, or did you just need to pass that test?
Right.
Because you needed to pass a test.
And who said you needed to pass the test or wanted to take it in the first place?
I'll be a C+ entrepreneur versus an A+ Harvard person. I'll probably have a lot more groundedness, I would say real world experience, because life was not very easy. I didn't get a lot of things handed to me. I had to earn it. So, I mean, I did make A's and B's, but school was not easy for me. So I had to work at that for sure. But yeah, teach me something that's actually going to stick with me and be a benefit in my life.
Right. So many things that they don't teach you. And it's almost like, it's probably for a reason. There's 99%, there's 1%. The 1% already know all of this. The 99% don't. We need to figure it out.
Working on that. Currently working on that.
Me too. Absolutely.
Good.
Figuring out as quick as I possibly can.
But don't give up. No
Right.
matter how long it takes, don't give up.
And start now. As an entrepreneur, don't wait until you can perfect your dream or perfect a podcast. Start filming podcast episodes now and get better as you go.
Well, I think the most successful people make the most mistakes, right?
Absolutely.
They learn, they fail forward. They think about, okay, this did not work out, or that blew up in my face, but they learn something from it. So taking even situations that did not work out how you thought, turning it into a positive, like, okay, this microphone is not for us, or this camera shot doesn't look good for me. Figuring things out. You just got to keep trying and trying and trying, and don't be afraid to fail, because you'll never get anywhere if you're living in fear like that. You'll never achieve a dream, or it won't ever happen for you, because you're going to get in your own way, once again, in your own head, because you're not willing to start.
Or listening to the naysayers or the people that don't have vision or don't have dreams or don't have the work ethic or the mindset to put into what you're trying to do yourself. That'll kill a lot of dreams and kill a lot of people. It's like, I've learned, the perspective and everything, but don't listen to people, like, we're here for a short time. If somebody's not adding value to everything you're doing, or if they're not rooting for you every step of the way, they're not in your corner anyway. So it's like, is it just a one-sided relationship? Everybody has those people, like, I'll contact them via text or a phone call or whatever. But if I stop contacting them, would I even ever hear from them again? It's almost like I just want to start testing some of those. I have kind of as I've gotten older, and just now I don't even worry about it. Like, if you're never even going to contact me, you don't care about me anyways, right? I mean, let's be real. We make time for what's important.
I think it's important to remember that even like the realest people won't always agree with you. So I don't need hype women or men in my life that are always going to be yes people. I am going to need someone to be like, hey, that's probably not a good idea, or let's refine that thought. Because I would rather you be super honest with me. Don't ever lie to me. Be super honest with me, even if it's not what I want to hear, if it means it's for the best. I also don't take advice from people who have not stepped in the room that I want to be in. Because if you haven't figured out how to do it yourself, and you're not willing to figure out how to do it yourself, why would I listen to you?
Right.
If that's where I want to be and you're not willing to figure it out either.
Right. Or don't even think it's possible.
Correct. Yeah.
Or don't think I can do it personally. It's possible for this person, but I can't do it.
Don't put those negative thoughts on me. It's going to bounce off.
Right.
I'm good with that.
Yeah. Negativity attracts negativity. Positivity attracts positivity. It's a mindset shift.
It is. Absolutely.
So what does success mean to you now compared to a few years ago? Like I was telling you, my changed a lot even in the last few years. I've actually hit some of those visualizations and then leveled up beyond what I was trying to do. So it's like, all right, God, I see you showing out. Now I need to really, really show out as far as putting the work into achieving the next ones.
I think success is like freedom. So I feel successful when, again, I put my head on my pillow at night and there's nothing that I would change. That is a successful day, whether I won the deal or I didn't win the deal, or, travel was a mess. But I also know success is freedom, because when you define what success means to you, no one will ever get in the way of you achieving that. So I have always had sales goals. And, last year was very tough, being my first year actually really in the industry, learning all of these new relationships, all these accounts, people that didn't have to buy from me, didn't trust me, had to build that. So I had to find what was success determined by me, not just the number that the company assigned to me per quarter or per year, because every step that I made towards actually achieving that was still a success. So even if I didn't hit my number, which last year I didn't hit any of my quarters, which as a very competitive person was hard for me to swallow, but I also couldn't handle anything else. Like literally so much had changed in my life. But I had to just like determine what was success for me. And that meant putting the right, proposals in front of those clients, showing them that I really cared about their business, taking the time to listen to what they have to say, their fears or their goals, so that I can help figure out how to help them achieve their goals or get over their fears. So success is freedom to do the thing that sets your heart on fire. And I love the industry that I'm in. I've always wanted a career in sales. Like you can make the most money without having to be a CEO, apparently. But it opens a lot of doors to like the freedom that I can do pretty much anything I want. I set my schedule. I took a vacation last year.
Nice.
Like I funded my own vacation. I've been on vacations, but did I fund them? No. So that was a big moment for me.
Nice.
To fund a vacation. Even though I didn't hit any of my quarters, like I still had enough success to bring my family together at Topsail Island in North Carolina at the beach for 4th of July.
I'll have to check that out.
I'm gonna
I've
do it
never
again.
heard of that.
I'm gonna do it again this year. So I'll
awesome
let you know.
place to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Better than Hilton Head?
Hilton Head's South Carolina. Right. I think that's a little bit busier. So I wanted something a little quieter, more like family, intimate, just less traffic. Like we always went to Atlantic Beach in North Carolina or the Outer Banks. But that can be very, very busy on a holiday weekend. So I wanted something a little off the beaten path. And Topsail Island was where it was at.
Nice.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that February vitamin D thing like you're saying. So that's always like February is always the go-to. So the 13th was my parents' 60th wedding anniversary. It was February 13th. 14th, obviously Valentine's Day. The 15th will be me and my fiance's 5 years. Nice. And then the 16th, my birthday. So it's like
you gotta go somewhere.
February, I'm always trying to go somewhere warm.
Yeah.
It's like an excuse.
Yeah.
Went to Cabo in 23 and then went to Dominican last year. So
nice. Yeah.
Or Cabo 24, Dominican last year. Wow, it's already 26. Yeah. Yes. So 24 and 25, not 23.
Last year when we had all of the snow here in Kentucky, that's when I was like, okay, I need to go somewhere in February. It was kind of slow. There was nothing to do. I was kind of stuck inside a whole lot because there was so much snow. And I was kind of getting low because of my vitamin D. So I said, this year I'm going to go somewhere in February, and I'm thinking St. Thomas.
St. Thomas is awesome.
I'm thinking
I haven't been to St. Thomas, but I have been to St. Martin, and St. Martin was off the chain. I
flew through there, and that is off the chain.
It's like the island's colonial, so it's like half Dutch, half French from like the colonial days. So it's super cool, super nice people. I was like 16, so they didn't even care. They're just like, oh, you got $100? Yeah, you can rent this car. Like you don't got to be 25. So I got like this awesome like Land Rover-ish looking car. It wasn't a Land Rover, but it was something like of like a European descent. And yeah, I'm just rocking around this island at 16. Like
so cool.
It was. I thought I was the man.
Well, you were. That's the thing.
For a 16-year-old, yeah.
Yeah.
So if someone feels stuck but knows they're meant for more, what's the first step you tell them to take?
So you're only stuck if you stop. So start. Change your mentality, change your mindset. Like you're literally going to stay stuck if that's what you think. So get out of that thought process, change it. If you know your habits are like very set and they're kind of negative, drop something. Drop one of those habits that's actually like not positively influencing you or giving you what you want or pushing you in a direction. And also don't be afraid to be uncomfortable because nothing good ever really happens in your comfort zone. So you have to step outside of what is safe to you to feel like you're going to grow and to feel like you're going to get out of that stuck feeling. So you're only stuck if you stop.
I love it. Get out of that feeling. That's like basically why I created my clothing company, Get, right?
Get it.
Get with the program. Don't get left behind. Get motivated. Get inspired. Get whatever you want out of life. Get traveling. Get spiritual. Get sales. Get rolling.
You only got one life to live. And it is very short. You said that earlier. Now, like I think I've understood that more in my 30s that, okay, time is flying by and you only get one life. And it's kind of up to you how it goes. So you have a lot of control in whether you're happy, whether you succeed, whether you actually get to travel, or you just say you're going to travel and you never actually do. So you only get one life. So I hate to say hit the button. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that or not, but hit that button and do it and get out there and go after it.
Right. And we only get one life here on earth. Thank God there is an afterlife. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, we're here for such a short amount of time. You need to do what fills your heart and, gives you purpose and gives you passion, or else it's like, what are we doing?
If not, it's going to drain you.
Because I know before I found that, like life wasn't fun.
Yeah.
Like at all, honestly.
And a lot of people are okay with that.
Right.
Which is sad.
And just okay with not achieving, like having dreams, having goals, having ambitions, but then going home and not putting any action or work into, and they probably got too many yes people around them too, right? So the accountability is what, I need people. I don't need anybody telling me, I'm great or anything I'm doing is good. Trust me. I need everybody holding me accountable. I need people around me that are more spiritual than me, have more money than me, are more successful than me, are a better person than me. So that way I can be more like all of these people.
Absolutely. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Yep.
I need people that I still want something from to level up myself, because if not, I'm going backwards.
Or you're just going to stay stuck.
Or stay stagnant or stuck.
Yeah.
So what habits had the biggest impact on your confidence and your growth?
Habits.
I mean, we've obviously talked about a lot of both of our good habits, but
I think being physically active has always been really good for me. Just like growing up on land, I was always outside. So I was that generation that didn't have technology, and I've seen it progress and become such an influence on our young individuals' lives. I was always outside. I was on a bike, fishing, running in the field, picking up random bugs, animals, all kinds of things that I probably shouldn't have been picking up. But I was always active, leading into dance and that discipline that dance gave me. So that habit has really served me even through college, even through my injuries. Even last year, I got injured and I had to take 4 months off of being physically active. It gave me the ability to redirect my thoughts and my energy, but I've come back to that. So I'm once again back on that very healthy habit of physical activity, building my own endorphins. I think that's really influential to me as a person. And I mean, you talk about that as well, having healthy habits when it comes to being physically active. So it helps a lot.
Well, and it helps me stay on the beam, right? If I'm not physically where I need to be, I'm not going to be maximally mentally or spiritually where I need to be, because my body's in a deficiency, right? And if I'm not mentally where I need to be, I'm not going to have the best contact spiritually, and I'm probably not going to be in the best mental attitude to eat the food and exercise the way I need to. So it's like, if I'm off one, I'm off the beam. So I need to really be in alignment with all three.
That's very true. Yeah.
So you mentor models and leaders. What's one mistake you see people make early on? And, a lot of things you probably got to redirect.
Well, I like to have a small circle. I think as a model coach and as a mentor, you can have multiple influences. There's absolutely nothing wrong from the right people being in your circle. But when it comes to, women that maybe are a little bit more insecure, they'll care what everyone thinks.
Right.
And that's how they self-destruct. It's because they care more about what the majority or the bigger group thinks than what those very small, select few people that actually matter, that wants what's best for you. They just let their circle get too big, and they'll listen to anything. Or this is the new trend, I'm going to do that. This is the new that, I'm going to follow that. This is the shoe company for the pageant, so I'm going to buy every color that they make in that shoe, and it's going to be my wardrobe shoe or my interview shoe, and it's going to make a difference. No, you should wear what makes you feel most confident, because the right person in your circle would be like, that shoe looks terrible with that dress.
Right. Seeking opinions and validation from the wrong people. And I notice, like you're saying, that keeps trending almost more in that direction of the younger generation too, because they didn't grow up like we did with playing outside, riding bikes, coming home when the streetlights were off, building tree forts, going down a railroad track like we're in Stand By Me on some mission, and then realizing it's a day later and my parents are going to kill me. or like hopping on a train or something. Like they don't do any of that kind of stuff.
Or just getting stuck in a creek, because that's what I did.
Exactly. Yeah. It was a stream right behind my house growing up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I actually grew up in New York, but I grew up in upstate New York, a couple hours north of the city. So it's like you got the Adirondack Mountains. It's like 6 million square acres all the way to Canada. So it's like
beautiful.
So nice.
The Miss New York for America was from upstate New York, I believe. And I would see like stuff that would come across her Instagram. Like, it's really beautiful land up there. So, yeah. I think with phones being so accessible, like I didn't get a phone until I was 16. And the only reason why I got a phone is because my mom wanted to know when I got home from school, because I got my driver's license. So when you have a 6-year-old that's learning from it, and that's how they learn versus like face-to-face communication, you lose eye contact, you lose social skills, you lose speech skills, you lose just common sense in a lot of ways.
Right.
Having technology be so influential to like younger individuals, it's really bringing the confidence level down in general, and just how people communicate with each other. As a communications major, like there are certain classes even in college that made a huge difference for me in understanding how genders will communicate with one another. And now that phones are so accessible, I think that's why the dating world is trash.
Right. Well, and just growing up, like imagine having like a screen and like an iPad or an iPhone at 2 or 3. Like that's crazy.
I couldn't do that. I won't do that.
Like I loved growing up at the time to where none of this existed. But then as a teenager, like, oh, wow, all this starts to come into play. So not let alone is it advancing, but we're advancing with it and knew how to grow up and act without it. Mm-hmm. So it's like I can still be cutting edge in technology and keep getting better and progressing as it goes. But I also grew up before it, so I know how to act. But
even in schools now, they'll send you home with like your own iPad.
Right.
If you don't have it, that's how you do your homework.
Right.
What about the pen and paper?
Right.
Is it supposed to be easier, or is it supposed to teach you something? Because I guess in the work world, a lot of companies now rely on computers or technology. So I guess it's helping that next generation, but it's also hurting them in a lot of ways.
Right. You need both. You need the pen and paper, the old school, the journaling, the visualization, reading and writing and all that. Like actually knowing how to write in cursive or like calligraphy or some cool stuff.
Not just your name.
Right. But yeah, I mean, obviously there's a ton of tools. Like I love technology, but I also love a lot of the old school stuff that got people to where they were at before, for thousands of years before it even existed recently.
See, I like puzzles. Like puzzles is problem solving. Like I love to solve like problems. It teaches you colors, shapes. What are you looking for? What is the bigger picture? And how do you find each little piece is a part of that puzzle versus even doing a puzzle on an iPad.
Right.
Like, let's take the technology away, go back to some really like board games, Scrabble, Monopoly.
Books, right?
Books, absolutely.
Versus a book on a phone or an iPad or a laptop.
Or a Kindle or something like that. Yeah. Physically hold it, turn the page.
Right.
Lick your finger and do the thing. Do the work yourself.
Right. What's something you're still actively working on in your life?
Faith is always going to be that answer, because you're tested each day. You're still tested with faith. That's always going to be very active. But I don't know. I don't really know. That's a great question.
Well, now I'm giving you some homework to think about later.
I will be thinking about it. What am I working on?
The second episode down the road, that when you end up coming back.
Oh, I'd love to come back.
We'll have the answer to that question.
Yeah, I think that's a great follow-up. We'll start with that one. How about if I don't have an answer by then, I didn't do the work.
Exactly. Then we need to hold you accountable.
Yeah.
Because obviously nobody was and everybody was yesing you.
Correct. Yeah.
All right, let's have some fun. So what's a random fact about you most people don't know? And I won't say the one that you told me in Coop before the interview.
Good. We'll do that one. Random fact. What do you mean, like nobody knows, or social media knows? Like what is, or you don't know?
Well, I just met you today, so I don't know a ton. So social media, you sound more of a private person, so they probably don't know too much. So I guess we'll go with the one that most people don't know or nobody knows.
Put a lot out. I mean, I don't put a lot out there, but I got some cool facts. So when I was 22, I had the opportunity to auditioned for Survivor.
Nice.
Yeah, it was their Beauty versus Brains show that year.
Dude, I literally sent in 2 videos in the last 2 years. Once I started getting good at this videography and social media stuff, I'm like, they're going to pick me. Never heard anything.
Yeah, so I auditioned, sent all my stuff in for Survivor, and was like kind of picked. Throughout the interview process, I just kind of figured out that this wasn't for me. Reality TV is not actually reality TV a lot of the time, and the character that they wanted me to play just went against all of my morals and values, and I actually turned Survivor down.
Okay.
Yeah, it just kind of wasn't building towards a career that, or a person, like me as a person, that I would be proud of. I had very limited ability on how they would cut or edit anything. I was like, oh, I don't like that. And then also a lot of people that were in my circle, my mom was pissed because you had a chance at $500,000. And I remember her being upset with me. I was like, yeah, but I think I'm worth more than $500,000, and I'm pretty sure in my lifetime I'll earn at least that, however many years it's going to take me. I feel like that's not enough money for me to be this person that they want me to be. And then that's what's going to follow me the rest of my life. And if that's not truly who I am, how do I combat that? Because that's the persona that maybe then America believes I am. And that's a lot of people's minds have to change if I don't have that stardom anymore. And that's just who I am in their eyes. So I turned Survivor down at 22 years old.
Well, it sounds like maybe it's a blessing that I didn't get on in the last couple of years. Maybe that's God doing for me what I couldn't do for myself.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And learning when to say yes.
Right.
And no.
Right. And not ever impact your values, right? Mm-hmm. So if someone reached out today, oh, I want to give you $100,000 towards the podcast or whatever. If I don't align with what that, I don't care how much money you offer me. I don't want anything to do with it, honestly. I'm too old to play any games to I'm promoting what I believe in and what I'm trying to do with life and what I think what are my values and core beliefs. And I'm not going to alter them for any amount of money.
Yeah, it's not worth it. Your values are, especially if it's yours. Your podcast is all you. If they align, they want to support you, no strings attached, just want to help you out, absolutely consider and take it if it makes sense. But if even one thing feels weird inside, that intuition that all of us have inside of us, it's a real thing. And when we listen to that, more often than not, we're pointing ourselves in the right direction. So if it doesn't feel right, don't go for it.
Right. If it doesn't fit, you must have quit. No. So, last one. If someone listens to this episode and takes one thing into their life, what do you hope it is?
Don't get in your own way. I think a lot of the way that I live my life and kind of what's made me successful, or the things that I consider me to be successful for, is because I stopped getting in my own way. I stopped being a person that lived in fear of what if. And if you play the what if game, play it both ways all the way out. What if it works? What if it doesn't? So, don't allow yourself to, negatively talk to yourself oh, I'm not smart. That's not true. Oh, I'm not pretty. That's not true. Oh, I don't have what it takes. Maybe you just need to work on a few things because you got a lot of good stuff. You just don't have everything yet, so don't get in your own way. It's probably the best advice that I could give anyone. And control the controllables. Focus on your A factors. Let the B's fall to the wayside and focus on what you have the ability to control.
So what I was just typing, I was paying attention to you, but I was multitasking. I remember Bruce Lee once said, I just wanted to get it. If you spend too much time thinking about a thing, you'll never get it done. But when people ask about spelling, they're usually referring to this popular Bruce Lee quote, knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. Words are living things. So it's what you speak negatively or positively, that's real.
It is real.
And it's it affects you way more than people realize, what you say.
How you talk to yourself on a daily basis. If you believe that you're going to win this pageant, great. Never stop giving it up. But if you think, oh, I'm going to trip on my gown, an evening gown, you're creating a self-fulfilling anxiety. That's what I coach for. It's what are you actually visualizing for yourself? And if you think, I'm going to trip in my evening gown, that's what you're going to focus on. You're going to relive that moment in your head for 7 weeks leading up to your pageant, guess what? You're going to create that moment on stage for yourself versus I'm going to float like a queen. I'm going to be beautiful. I'm going to hit all my turns. I'm going to look at all my judges, and I'm not going to stand in my own way because I'm going to talk to myself very positively. And, we're going to see what happens when I actually lean into the positive side of things.
All sorts of doors and opportunities open up. Like we said, we get out of our own way. Yep. Anything's possible. So for anybody that wants to connect with you in the audience, it's been an awesome episode. I appreciate you coming on. Where can they reach you for all this awesome aesthetic stuff and sales and all the other cool things you're doing as an entrepreneur?
So
give them all the plugs.
I'm on Instagram, Jessie Christine Smith. You can find me there. Send me a DM. I know all of the med spas in Eastern Kentucky. If you have any interest in that at all, just reach out to me. But, that's probably the best way. I'm not giving my phone number out because I'll get some randos, I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
Facebook is more like for my hometown and my family, so I kind of leave that one off to the wayside. But yeah, Instagram's probably the best way to get a hold of me, honestly.
And what's your gram?
Jessie_Christine_Smith.
Boom. Everybody that comes on the podcast, I give them some cool item of GITT apparel. So I got a cool shirt for you. Hopefully you like it. Coop. Thank you, my good man. So we got you the Kentucky Blue.
Yes.
GITT long sleeve.
Love it.
AJ's Clothing Company.
Oh, that's going to look fantastic. You'll see that on my Instagram one random morning when I'm grounding with my coffee.
Yes.
And I'll tag you in it,
take an awesome pic, tag me. It'll probably blow up, and it'll help the brand, so.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It was a great conversation. I love this.
Absolutely. So for anybody that likes the apparel that Jessie and I have and we're sporting, GITTLIVE, GitLive.com. Check it out. We got hats, T-shirts, tank tops, workout gear, hoodies, beanies, you name it, we got it. If you like the channel, subscribe, like, comment, and share it out. And if you like motivational, inspirational people like Jessie and myself, subscribe. We'll see you every Thursday at 4 p.m. Thanks, Jessie.
Thank you.